That's all we need. Enjoy, Neon. Greetings, pilot. This is Jiro Sugiyama, head of Paradiso Security. I apologize for coming over this emergency channel, but we are in need of assistance concerning the large ship in orbit, and we value discretion in this matter. If you are willing and able, please see me as soon as possible at the main security office in Paradiso. Over and out.
Seeing the hatches line up.
The word and we'll get underway.
Good day, Captain. Greetings, Captain. I will follow behind you.
I'll get back to what I was doing. You know where to find me.
Stay alert.
Remain calm. There's no reason to suspect whatever it is hostile. You're... human. Oh, pardon my ignorance. We just didn't expect to find people out here. We didn't think anyone else left Earth before us.
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. I'm Captain Diana Brackenridge. This is Security Officer Bomani Reader. And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of our elders.
A pleasure to meet you.
I see. As you may have presumed, we're in a bit of a bind. Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by... well, we don't know. Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival is fortuitous. Perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves and... the others. Of course, we know that now. Human or not, we were still unable to communicate our intentions. As soon as we discovered them, we fully expected negotiations would be necessary. Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. We'll speak more on the matter once we reach the bridge. Dr. da Costa, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain.
I will follow you to the bridge, ma'am, for security purposes.
I do not believe we have need to fear our guest, but I'll allow it if you insist. Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios: climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened. So, he gathered the best and brightest he could find, built the Constant, and set a course for this planet here. We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time. If you can believe, entire generations have been born, lived, and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. We don't need to see what it can do. Just because our equipment's old, doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers.
So, here we are. Let's talk. No matter the outcome, I won't let my crew down. Difficult is the wrong word. It can be both challenging at times and also exciting. Our mission was to rebuild humanity on a distant world, believing that we were Earth's last hope. To think that while there has always been a Brackenridge in the captain's chair, that I am the one to finally oversee our journey's end is truly exhilarating. But with this stumbling block in our path, at this final moment, I fear tough choices will need to be made. A bit frazzled, as you can imagine. People are anxious about discovering that we're not alone, and also worried about what will come to pass. While we hope we can work out a deal with the people on the surface, they seem reluctant to reach out, so there's no telling what will come of that. I do know that we can't afford to... The ship was built to... Well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communication. But since you're asked... We know there's a settlement on the... You see, we intended... We'd like you to... Excellent. So, speak with their lead. Report back to me and let me know. Thank you. And God's...
Never seen a ship like yours before. Keeping a 200-year-old ship running is no easy task.
There's so much more to learn about now.
I wonder what it's like out there, beyond our little community.
Wow, I've heard about it. Here you are.
That was definitely you, and you definitely said that.
Hey.
We were never trained to address threats.
I have lived my entire life in the constant.
Hey there. We've got strict rules around here. They're strict.
You've got something for me?
Now that we know what's out there, things are gonna be more interesting from here on out.
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take down trouble.
predict that there are numerous resources in this region.
No major incidents in a while. Let's hope it stays that way.
Welcome to Paradiso. Jiro Sugiyama at your service. Do you have a security concern, or is there something else I can help you with?
Something I can help you with? Oh, yes. Let's get right to it then. As you can imagine, we've got a predicament on our hands. Under normal circumstances. As such, So, before we proceed, can you swear not to discuss this? Great. I appreciate it. Not too long ago, a strange and enormous ship appeared in Parima space. It is now locked in orbit around our planet. So far, it doesn't seem to be hostile, but any attempts to communicate with it have been in vain, so we're unsure of the ship's intentions. I see. Well, if you're speaking on their behalf, all formal decisions will go through him, not me. I'll let...
Don't worry about us. We're just here to keep...
You'd think we'd be a prime target for fun.
Hey, hope you enjoy...
Excuse me, you can't just waltz in there. Do you have an appointment? I really don't, and I can't have you barging in on the executives while they're working. So if you need something, you can talk to me. That's the best I can do, I'm afraid. I'm afraid so, yes. Sorry, but that's just how it is with the board. They're generally very busy, so any outside parties need to book appointments in advance. Oh, you're the one they're waiting for then. Do you need anything else from me before you meet with the board? Sure. Have fun in the Shark Tank. And don't worry, even they call it that.
Paradiso Security's only here for your safety.
I just feel that we should be
You're
focusing
lucky
on
I'm
the
not like
natural
the other board
beauty of
members,
the planet,
blazing about
not
the
our
beaches.
amenities.
No, of course not. There's several more. We're just the ones who show up day to day. The others spend their time. Doesn't bother me, though. Less cooks in the kitchen means I get to make all the big decisions around here. Seems to be working out for us just fine. No, of course not. The others spend their... Doesn't bother me, though. I am. But given this... You like that? You'd be surprised what people fall for. Locally sourced island fruit essences, for instance. It's just the same old fruits brought over from Earth ages ago, but we get nearly 10 times the market for them. But you... So, tell me... That's so. I imagine some sort of old pre-collapse colony ship thinking they've got a claim here. Well, they don't. And that ship's presence is bad for business. We need it to bugger off ASAP. Now, tell me, what are we going to do about it? Give me some proposals, people. I need something to work with here.
We could offer to resettle them here. There's more than enough space.
They could stay here, temporarily, but it'll cost them. Quite a bit, too. They'd need to work off all their debts before being allowed to leave.
Maybe not. What if we help them get out of here? Outfit their ship with a grav drive so they can find a new home. We could even lend our engineers to help and give their captain an updated star map. What do you think?
Sounds costly. We can't absorb that cost, and it's unlikely they even have compatible currency, let alone enough for the transaction. Someone else would have to foot the bill.
Oh, I swear this would be a lot easier if they ceased to exist entirely. Anyway, Seema's got the right idea. Either works for me. Just tell me what you want to do. I'm not suggesting anything, other than it would make our lives so much easier if that ship ceased existing. We operate outside of the Free Stars and the UC, partially because we don't want any, and we'd rather not draw it. And which proposal? They'd be hard-pressed to defend their claim in any courts. Our charter goes back years. It was registered with both the UC and Free Star Collective, per the Centaurus Proclamation. We may be outside the settled systems, but that charter's official as can be. I'm sorry, but you're going to need to be the one to break the news to them that they need to make a compromise or leave. Right. Assuming they agree to the terms, I've got a list of resources you'll need to gather and bring back so we can support the new arrivals. We'll need to improve our lodging and infrastructure, plus account for future projects to support an increased population. Don't care how you procure them, just make sure to bring them here with you before we can consider this a done deal. Right. On behalf of the Paradiso Group, we appreciate your help.
There are millions of planets out there. People can go to any one of them. The resort facilities are precisely what we bring to the table. Heck, it's the only thing we've really got to offer.
I don't want to risk us coming off as just another artificial, shady, trash-filled dump like Neon. That's not who we are. We've got something special here. We should embrace that.
Belom's right.
Thank you.
We don't want to compete with Neon. Bayou's ruthless. He'll do anything he can to eliminate the competition.
were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
Sure is nice to know there are other people out there.
Never seen a ship like yours before.
I wonder what else is out there.
These are exciting times, aren't they? Boy, am I glad you weren't some sort of alien or something. Just stay out of trouble.
Think all this time.
Now that we know what's out there,
The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change that.
we got strict rules around here. They're strict for a reason.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. We don't need to see what it can do. Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers.
We didn't believe anyone would be out here, but I'm glad for it. What's the good word? Then I'd need to know what that catch is before I could form an opinion. That doesn't sound so... Is that all? I'm not sure what we can spare. Unfortunately, we just don't have any resources to spare. As you can imagine, our ancestors were not able to bring many excess supplies. Oh my, I hope that's not the impression I'm giving. I assure you, it's simply a matter of not knowing what we can spare right now. I'll work on figuring it out. Tell you what, talk to Daisuke, and he'll get you what we can spare. If you succeed, we'll see about finding some other ways to repay you as well. Thank you. Until next time.
Careful waving that fancy gun.
Now that we know what's out there, things are gonna be more interesting.
Hi there. Oh! Nice to meet you. Right? Anyway, I'm Daisuke. Oh yeah. Need anything else? Not really. Almost everything is communal or shared in some way, but sometimes people want a little something extra or special for themselves. So when that happens, they come to me. Mostly, I just keep track of the ship's inventory and help ration the supplies so we don't run out. Not really. Things don't work that way. Almost everything is communal or shared in some way, but sometimes people want a little something extra or special for themselves. So when that happens, they come to me. Mostly, I just keep track of the ship's inventory and help ration the supplies so we don't run out. You were saying? See you around. It's almost time to take inventory of our stock again. Keeping track of all our supplies is more difficult than you might think.